In the cottage of the Sifton-Cook Heritage Centre, there is a room with an exhibit of historic furniture. And in that room is a cupboard, the Hamilton Cupboard. This cupboard and much of its contents were given to the Cobourg Museum Foundation by collector and friend Don Michael. It's called the Hamilton Cupboard simply because it comes from somewhere in Hamilton Township, the rural area surrounding Cobourg. The township is named after Henry Hamilton, British military leader at Detroit in the American War of Independence and Lieutenant Governor of Quebec from 1782 to 1785. The items in the cupboard give us quick glimpses into the life of Cobourg's past. 3 pieces of porcelain are from 3 long-gone Cobourg hotels. While Cobourg's population hovered for decades around 5,000, the numbers of people coming and going necessitated a significant number of hotels. Probably the most prominent was the Arlington, located on the south side of King Street on what is now part of Victoria Park. It was the brainchild of American Colonel William Chambliss, built with the expectation of attracting American Civil War veterans to this beautiful lakeside town. The Arlington opened in 1874 to great acclaim and operated successfully until it was demolished in 1937. The Dunham House Hotel was built at the northeast corner of Division and Swain Streets, on the site of the Windsor Hotel, which had been destroyed by fire in April 1878, taking the lives of 3 firefighters. The site is now occupied by an office block built in 1981. The Cedarmere Hotel was originally built as a private home on the lakeshore at the foot of Love Lane, now Ontario Street. Later, as a hotel, it was a favorite of both the wealthy American summer colony and the regular Cobourg society. It was demolished in 1933. One of the leading promoters of Cobourg as a summer resort for wealthy Americans was General Charles Lane Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh had distinguished himself in the U.S. Civil War as the youngest brigadier general in the Union cavalry. He was drawn here by the industrial opportunities of nearby iron ore mines, but then helped promote Cobourg as the, quote, Newport of the North, and attracted other wealthy Americans who summered here. For himself and his son, General Fitzhugh built 2 mansions overlooking Lake Ontario in Cobourg's East End. His, which was completed in 1902, is called Ravensworth. Family members and guests visiting will have enjoyed eating from plates such as this, part of a dinner service from Ravensworth. The General's son's house, which became known as East House, was completely destroyed by fire in 1976. Among the rescued remains was this porcelain lady. Though damaged, she is still indicative of the quality of the items there. Another early mansion, this one in the village of Grafton, just east of Cobourg, is known as Stillbrook and still stands. Part of it dates back to before the War of 1812 and is believed to have housed soldiers traveling between Kingston and York. The main building was built in the 1840s by the owner of a distillery and included a ballroom. This black banjo player, which comes from Stillbrook, is made of spelter, a zinc-lead alloy that ages to resemble bronze. Here is a piece with a more personal relation to its donor. It was owned by Don Michael's grandmother, Evelyn Ireland Michael, who was born in Northumberland County in 1887 and is buried here too. She was married about 1929, and this piece still contains rose petals from her wedding bouquet. Next, there are 5 souvenir pieces which depict prominent Cobourg buildings. A Victoria Hall plate, a small decorative vase depicting St. Michael's Church, a fancy bonbon plate showing the Cobourg Collegiate Institute, a demi-tasse-style cup and saucer depicting Victoria College, which came from the estate of William Cooper, who served a term as Cobourg's mayor in the 1920s, and a mug with a picture of Illahee Lodge. The cottage housing this exhibit was once part of the Illahee estate on Ontario Street. When that estate was subdivided, the developer donated the cottage to the Museum Foundation. 2 trophies illustrate another aspect of early Cobourg society. A beer mug-shaped tug-of-war trophy won in Cobourg at the Caledonian Games in 1911. Modern Highland Games have been a feature of Cobourg Summer since 1963. Trophy for Best Canadian Bred Horse, Presented by Field Marshal His Royal Highness, the Duke of Connaught KG Governor-General of Canada, 1914, to the Cobourg Horse Show, won in 1926 by Brown Sugar, awarded by Gordon F. Perry. The Duke of Connaught was Prince Arthur, third son of Queen Victoria, and the first member of the royal family to become Canada's Governor-General. Almost too big to fit on the cupboard shelving are two sculptures by Czech-Canadian artist Jarko Zavy, who lived from 1907 to 1987. The seagull is the more typical of Zavy's work, with the rearing horse less so. Both pieces were donated to the foundation by David Batsold, whose father had been a friend when Zavy had his studio just outside of Cobourg. Zavy is particularly remembered as a proponent of the use of local materials in his work. Don Michael's father, also Don, served for years as this area's medical officer of health. On the wall beside the Hamilton cupboard is a needlepoint given to Dr. Michael by a grateful Cobourg patient. Now we are grateful to his son, Don, for his donations of this fine cupboard, which holds so many memories of this fascinating town of Cobourg.